Prepare yourself for a symbiote-infused thrill ride as we uncover the deity. I don't even know if I'm allowed to call him that. That is Meridius, the King in Black. You know Eddie Brock, the OG Venom. He takes a quantum leap into the symbiote unknown, birthing Meridius, a being as mysterious as McDonald's patty recipes. Meridius isn't your everyday anti-hero. He's a time-traveling, reality-bending, mind-controlling master of the symbiotic symphony. With the flair of a cosmic puppet master, Meridius pulls the strings of time and symbiotes, creating a narrative that's wilder than a roller coaster with no seatbelts. We're talking mental time travel and a dash of symbiote drama that will have you on the edge of your seat. So let's swing into the tangled web of Meridius' tale, where even reality wears a symbiotic disguise. Before we go into our video though, we have a small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. It's just a small click for you, but for us it means an awful lot. Thank you very much. Now let's begin. Meridius' origin, the rise of King in Black. Meridius, the King in Black, is an intriguing version of Eddie Brock, a temporal offshoot with a millennia-long existence. He's been through various temporal iterations before becoming the eventuality, desperately trying to escape his fate as a cosmic caretaker. However, Meridius rebels against this destiny and manipulates his past selves to achieve this goal. Operating from the shadows, Meridius leads the Absent Throne, a powerful organization. By dominating all symbiotes, he creates the Garden of Time to control his past selves, using them as pawns in the life of Dylan Brock, the Chainbreaker, and the Venom symbiote. Meridius believes that their evolution from pain can grant him the power to sever his connection to destiny. Here's how it began. Eddie Brock, our friendly neighborhood wicked web slinger, discovers he's got a kid, Dylan, who's been his trusty sidekick against all odds, whether it's dealing with serial killers or brushing shoulders with space gods. Now Eddie's donned the mantle of a symbiotic deity, the King in Black, reigning over all symbiotes. He's using his godlike powers to keep the universe safe and lead symbiotes into a peaceful new era, but there's a twist. On his recent cosmic escapade, Eddie stumbled into something sinister, something that could shatter his world. Eddie's on the horn, warning Dylan about a rogue Eddie on Earth, urging him to go on the lam. Dylan, being a good son, trusts the voice on the other end and agrees to meet up. Plot twist incoming, it's an ambush. Chaos reigns and sadly, Eddie bites the dust. Dylan, in the nick of time, bonds with the symbiote for survival. But wait, there comes a dramatic reveal. Death isn't the end for our King in Black. Eddie's consciousness goes all time travelery on us and lands smack dab before mysterious Meridius at their surreal symbiote sanctuary, the Garden. Eddie Brock, liberated in time after his physical body's demise, is released in a time loop orchestrated by Meridius to ensure his own existence. Through this loop, Eddie undergoes 5 temporal iterations from Eddy to Finnegan to Bedlam to Wild to Tyro and finally to his transformation into Meridius. There's also a 7th iteration known as the Eventuality. Meridius' plan involves targeting Eddie and his son Dylan through his organization called the Absent Throne. They coerce Alchemax and the Life Foundation to push Dylan and the Venom symbiote to their limits, aiming to mutate Venom and make the symbiote stronger. Meridius effortlessly manipulates the past, present and future through the symbiote hive mind. Meridius is orchestrating a non-linear game involving Eddie and Dylan, a game he's been preparing for millennia. Meridius appears to harbour intense animosity towards Eddie, although the exact reason remains unclear. He can be likened to Watchmen's Dr. Manhattan, existing non-linearly due to his mastery over the timeline. Meridius is an extremely strong opponent for Eddie as the King in Black. The narrative also suggests that Meridius is simultaneously playing his game against both father and son, sending the red and black symbiote Bedlam after Dylan in the present while confronting Eddie directly. Encounter with Eddie Brock in the Garden of Time. Eddie Brock, in his Bedlam persona, gets chucked into limbo, a place where time decides to break the rules and do its own thing. And who does he meet there? None other than Darkoth the Death Demon, ruling limbo at a different point in time. Bedlam, all fueled by rage, decides to throw down with Darkoth, King of Limbo. Their epic battle causes a cosmic rift in time, splitting Eddie's history into 2 twisted versions. In one reality, Bedlam gets a nasty defeat, ending up in the unbeyond. But here's where it gets crazier. Bedlam's symbiote body pulls a fast one, takes over Darkoth, and jets through a portal into Asgard. In other versions of this wacky tale, Bedlam triumphs over Darkoth, wielding a broken soul sword like a boss. There emerges a time portal, inviting Bedlam back to the Garden of Time to keep the loop going. Back at the garden, Bedlam runs into his past and future selves, all while Meridius is playing tour guide to the freshly arrived Eddy Brock. Emotions run high as Bedlam battles his past self Finnegan in a murderous rage and tussles with Eddy's first iteration. This chaotic scene becomes a recurring part of the time loop spectacle. Bedlam, fueled by rage and self-loathing towards his various iterations, attempts to erase himself by going on a past smashing spree. That's when Meridius steps in, suggesting Bedlam should take a trip down memory lane and fight their son Dylan as if therapy wasn't an option. Bedlam's codex goes on a time stream joyride courtesy of the symbiote hive mind and manifests using a symbiote Meridius was hanging out in. Before zipping back to the future, Meridius sends Bedlam after Venom, part of a master plan to push Dylan and the Venom symbiote past their limits and give the Alchemax CEO Liz Allen a good fright. Bedlam tracks down Dylan and the Venom symbiote to a quaint little town and a fierce battle ensues. Venom goes all spiky and impales Bedlam, but this king in black bounces back, striking when Venom's guard is down. Bedlam spills the beans, revealing his true identity as Eddy Brock, adding insult to impalement. In a sinister twist, Meridius traps Eddy's time-traveling codex inside Bedlam's mindscape, forcing Eddy to witness Bedlam torturing Dylan. Eddy, who's bonded to Bedlam, gets fed up with the whole charade. He hops in a time machine, crashes into Meridius at the Garden of Time, disrupting the loop and spiraling into an alternate timeline. Eddy's journey. Eddy Brock had to take this strange path after he landed, in the Meridius verse. He's not at his superhero best and goes by the name Finnegan here. He keeps fighting and rejecting this new reality. Next we had Bedlam, all fiery and fierce, but then came Wild, a bit sarcastic and bitter. Wild spilled the beans to his past self, telling him he could jump through time and different dimensions. Despite this warning, Eddy charges forward and Wild transforms into Tyro. Tyro decides to join Meridius' side, wanting to be the teacher's favourite and learn everything from him. But here's the scoop. Everyone, including Meridius, finds Tyro annoying and just not too pleasant to be around. It's like being stuck with that one person at a party who won't stop talking about their rare stamp collection. Tyro's clinging to Meridius like a desperate adventurer holding on to the last magical unicorn. And then, as we all know, Tyro eventually turns into Meridius. The thunderous finale. Meridius meets his demise at the hands of Thor. Hold on to your hammers, fellow nerds, because this showdown is straight out of a cosmic wrestling match in Asgard. For those who wonder what's going on and why did this Meridius drama begin, I'll cut to the chase for you. Meridius, aka Eddy Brock, having a eureka moment, realizes he doesn't want to be a king in black like Null and goes on a quest to avoid that fate like it's a bad Tinder date. He's dead set on escaping the clutches of becoming the eventuality, so to beef up his power, Eddy slurps up the minds of every symbiote in the universe and crafts a trippy structure called the Garden of Time, mimicking the funky time loop he's crafted. He's got an obsession with reclaiming the Venom symbiote, with a side hustle of grabbing All Black and Necrosword, all in a rebellion against destiny. After Eddy bites the dust, Meridius gets his minions to scoop up Eddy's crispy remains and keep tabs on any supernatural shenanigans. He's a smart cookie, recruiting the likes of Carlton Drake and Kang the Conqueror to help him out. Flash forward to Meridius hosting a little meet and greet at the Garden of Time, welcoming Eddy and showcasing his sin buddies, claiming they're the new kings in black after Eddy's shift ended. But the banter from the gang irritates him, especially Wild's jabs, leading him to pull a symbiote-fueled temper tantrum and giving Eddy a terrifying heads up. He's got plans within plans, trapping Eddy and forcing him to witness some gruesome torture sessions. Remember the Bedlam Dylan fiasco? Yeah, something of that sort. But you know how the time travel paradox works, right? One Meridius has to die for another to be created. That's what happened in Asgard, end of a tale, so that another could begin all over again. Meridius, rocking the Eddy Brock disguise, decides to cozy up to Thor, the hammer-wielding god. It's a sneaky symbiote masquerade, all part of Meridius' grand plan, but Thor's no pushover. He sees through the act faster than a kid peeking under wrapping paper on Christmas morning. The hammer comes down, smashing both the illusion and the avatar Meridius was using. It's a drop the mic moment in a cosmic theater, and just like that, the symbiotic tricksters show in Asgard ends with a bang, curtains drawing on Meridius. How powerful is Meridius? Until now, we know Meridius is extremely powerful and he can do stuff that we couldn't imagine was possible. But just for the sake of it, let's unpack the Meridius power party. Keep in mind that we're talking about Eddie Brock's alter ego. So think of it like he's hit the gym, had a few millennia to lift weights, and now we've got Meridius, the King in Black version 2.0. He's got the classic King in Black powers, but with a PhD in mastering them. It's like he upgraded his symbiote game to expert level and put all other symbiotes to shame. First off, this guy can waltz into any symbiote he likes and call dibs on their body. It's like a symbiote slumber party, and he's the host with the most control. He can even whip out the transmode virus or give a symbiote the exit ticket, and they've got no choice but to oblige. Plus, if he's in the mood for a symbiote fusion dance, he can command symbiotes to merge into a symbiotic Voltron. But hold on, it's not just about the symbiote shenanigans. Meridius has got some serious mental powers he uses to trap stuff in time, and uses that to make time travel portals for himself and for others. He's not just chilling in the present, he's got the VIP pass to the past, future, and even space. You can call him the symbiotic Doctor Strange, bending time and space to his will. And if that's not enough, he's a symbiote himself, rocking that symbiote physiology. He's the Codex in the symbiote hive mind, the ultimate symbiotic brainiac, and he can slip into a physical form by cozying up to other symbiotes. Marvelous verdict. In the grand universe of symbiotic sagas, Meridius emerges as the mind-bending twist, the curveball you never saw coming. This tale is a ride through symbiote secrets, time-traveling tricks, and a showdown of the spooky kind. From Eddie Brock's womb of creativity, Meridius bursts forth, a being with a symbiotic plan that gives even Thanos pause for thought. He is a symbiote virtuoso, conducting the orchestra of his own creation, pulling strings of symbiotes past, present, and future. It's like the Avengers here, but with the symphony of symbiotes. Meridius takes the symbiotic lore and flips it upside down, inside out, and twirls it like a spidey web. He's the maestro of mayhem, leaving you hungry for more symbiote secrets and itching for the next chapter in the ever-expanding comic cosmos. So fellow nerds, keep your peepers peeled and spidey senses tingling, for the Meridius saga is a symphony that's far from its final note. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't done so already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.